What's crackin', Hope Nation? It is your friendly neighborhood Kevin Hines, back for another round of Askkevs. Let's go back a bit further than last year to several different kind of manic episodes. In the face of extreme mania, I have done things like take a football team out to go spend my entire college fund. Yeah, my parents set away about $50K for me for college. And I went there. I went to San Jose State. I got in on a special admit, was supposed to spend the money I had in the trust fund for college. And I ended up on a manic, wild goose chase. And I made a lot of really great friends. And I took them all to the big mall in San Jose, California. Which is a massive mall. It's one of the biggest in the country. And we went on a shopping spree. Not for me, for the football team of San Jose State. At least a few of them who had made good friends and brotherhoods with me. And then they took my money and they spent it and never saw them again. Yeah, I blame myself, but I blame the mania. I was so manic I couldn't deduce what was reality. I thought they were my friends. I thought they were my brothers for life, and they just got a free wardrobe from me, each of them, which is ridiculous. I spent probably a good $25K just at the mall, and spent the rest on 14 different velour suits, the kind that Al Davis would wear from the Oakland Raiders. May he rest in peace. I was on fire. The mania was so out of control. And when you're in a manic episode, one of the biggest things that happens is people spend their fortunes, or they spend the money they do have on things that are frivolous and useless, because it's a typical manic episode tradition. People have done it all around the world. There have been people who were millionaires sitting on a couple, maybe even $10 million, and they lost it all in the face of mania. Pretty scary. That was one episode of mania that I had. Let's talk about a few others. I remember those velour suits I talked about. In a manic episode, I bought them all, and then I gave them away. I was actually going to sell them to a guy at City College back when I got kicked out of San Jose State for my mental health, back going to City College near my old high school, Archbishop Reardon, shout out Reardon. And I ended up finding a guy who was like, hey, I'll buy those off of you. And he gave me the first couple $100 and said, can I take them off your hands so you don't have to carry them around? And then, I'll just pay you tomorrow. I was like, yeah, man, that sounds like a great idea. And I let him take 14 velour suits plus the, $400 worth he'd already paid for. And I never saw him again. Because people take advantage of you when you're going through mania. People look at you like you're out of your mind and uncontrollable and crazy. And I hate that term, but I'll just say it here. And during my manic episodes, I've been taken advantage of by many different kinds of people, financially certainly. Mania is described as the euphoric natural manic high caused not by recreational drugs, but caused by the misaligning chemistry in your brain. And once you go up, you must come, that's right, down. And when you come down, you crash. When you crash into a dark abyss of depression, a place where you feel there are black clouds raining over your head, rain, hail, sleet, and snow, and you think you're the only one, but little do you know you're surrounded by a sea of people who love you, feeling completely alone. And in that depression from that mania comes suicidal ideation and suicidal thinking. So it's a cyclical disease, bipolar disorder. I have it, I live with it, I fight it. It's not a battle anymore as much as something I live with, and I appreciate and have gratitude for the pain so I can be resilient in it so I can always survive it. I have absolutely experienced the creative side of mania. There have been times when I stayed up as a kid, to all hours in the morning, drawing superhero after superhero after superhero, and they were some of the best drawings I've ever created. Maybe we can show you some drawings right in this, some B-roll here of what I've created, just so you see that I actually had some skill, and so that creativity was I was wildly enthusiastic about. When I'm manic, I can do anything, I can create anything, I can be anyone or be anything. It gets to a point where it becomes dangerous if you let it fly too high, but when you're mildly manic, you can write poetry better. You can write songs more clearly. You can create sketch artistry that's more beautiful. You can paint more vividly, or at least you feel like you can. So I don't look at it as a curse. I look at my entire mental illness as not even a mental illness. Mental is a negative connotation of a word all by itself. I look at it as a gift, in a sense. It's been a struggle, yes. It's been harrowing, and there's been extreme hard times in my life with my family and my friends because of this disease. But I've also gained a lot of insight into the human condition, into how to react and appropriately respond to other human beings' pain, and to how to help people who are going through similar situations. So I wouldn't give it up for anything in the world, because it's given me a perspective on life that I don't think any other life situation could have. It's been painful. It's been hard. It still is sometimes. But I respect and appreciate that pain, so I can hold gratitude for it and be resilient inside of it. If you have a loved one going through mania, my biggest advice for you is to manage your expectations. By that I mean, we expect people to get well, get better, get soon as fast as possible. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why can't you get your act together? I cannot tell you how many family members told me to get my act together when I was going through mania or depression with bipolar disorder. You have to manage your expectations, family. And in doing that, you'll understand that it's not their well-being is not going to happen tomorrow. It's a long, arduous process. My father still worries about me and my mental struggles every single day. He still fears my death by suicide even on a regular basis. So what I do is I made a pact with him that if he asks me the direct question, are you suicidal or are you manic or are you depressed, I'm going to tell him the right answer. I'm going to be truthful in that situation. So for all the family members of loved ones going through psychosis or mental health struggles, I want you to manage your expectations of them, but I also want you to love them more. I don't think that serious, tough love is the answer. I think that love, kindness, and compassion, lack of judgment, empathy throughout, and understanding what they're going through is the answer. I think that we need to give an entirely new level of empathy to people in mental pain, especially those we love. Before we wrap it up, we got a little addition here to the Askkev vlog. My colleague asked me why it was so easy for people to take advantage of me and during my manic highs. It's very simple. When you're in a manic delusional grandiose high, you believe the best about everyone. You believe everyone is on your same level and that they understand you and they are with you. And you believe that what you're doing for or with them is something beneficial to them and not them taking advantage of you. So when I went and took the half of the football team out to go buy, $25K worth of clothes at the mall from a trust fund that I had emptied, they were all so glad to get these material objects that they didn't have to pay for. But none of them thought for 1 second that I wouldn't be able to go to college if I dropped out, if I ran out of this college fund, which I had to leave college because I had no money. And my parents weren't paying me back because they put the money in there in the first place. So, and then you get home and your parents don't understand what you've just done and why, and they think you're out of your mind, which in reality, in a sense, you kind of are. And so the ability for people to take advantage of me in that situation was vast and easy. And they saw that ease of access to material gain, and they took it. Absolutely. This is really crucial, actually. The 24-hour rule is something that we implement recently as a couple years ago. And it's like, if I want to write a really long, nasty email to someone because I'm mad at something they've done, or if I want to go do an extravagant purchase, or if I want to go do these things that are absolutely maybe borderline manic or manic, we'll say, okay, Kevin, the 24-hour rule. Take 24 hours, don't write the email, don't make the purchase, don't do this extravagant thing, just sit back and chill for 24 hours and see after 24 hours if it still makes sense. Usually the manic episode is past, I'm down back to a calm or a depression, and I realize that was a bad idea in the first place. So it's a very helpful rule to take that 24 hours just to cool off and calm down. Also, that's a good judge of any human being is that when you're thinking of doing something that could affect somebody else, take 24 hours just to consider if it's the right thing to do in the first place. Especially sending that scathingly angry email that could be the end of a relationship or a connection with someone. Friends, family, to all of those out there watching these Askkevs, be here tomorrow, every damn day after that. Hit subscribe, click that bell, give it a thumbs up, and share it with 10 friends at the very least. Bye guys, be well, and be here tomorrow.